Everyone. I'm Ryan Bertram. I'm the Sales Director for Accesso, focusing on cultural institutions. I want to thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Today's presentation will introduce you to and familiarize you with some of Accesso's latest developments for museums and other cultural institutions. If you have questions during the presentation, please use the question box in your GoToMeeting console, and our organizer, Val, will collect them. We'll address all questions following the presentation. Let's get started. At Accesso, we believe technology has the power to redefine the guest experience. Everything we do starts with thinking about the guest experience first. This helps us to simplify operations, improve guest satisfaction, and drive growth for our clients. We're excited to have the opportunity to show you some of what we've been working on to serve museums and other cultural institutions. Our Accesso Seriousware and Accesso Passport platforms are integrated to offer both best-in-class point-of-sale and e-commerce solutions. Today, we're going to take a look at some key features designed for museums and other cultural institutions. Our membership feature offers some very powerful functionality to deliver the benefits your members are seeking and the reporting your team needs to gauge effectiveness. We also have optional payment features, which are helpful for busy members, helping you retain your members more easily. And finally, we're going to talk about our award-winning and fully responsive e-commerce solution and why it's important for your guests to be able to purchase from you on mobile. Accesso Seriousware product offers powerful solutions to serve your patrons in support of your missions. The Seriousware product suite provides software modules which can help you to simplify your sales process, integrate seamlessly with other best-in-class products, and ultimately nurture your visitors into a passionate and loyal member and donor. We all know the highest compliment a patron can give your venue is to become a member or a donor. Our membership module makes taking great care of your patrons easy. With our Accesso Seriousware tools, you'll be able to automatically administer member benefits and entitlements. Your staff will be able to create customized member ID cards, capture photos, issue and track admissions passes, manage guest contact, and transactional information, and a lot more. The whole process of managing memberships becomes seamless and simple for you, and most importantly, your patron. Now, one of the more popular features we've added to our memberships module is the ability to offer your patrons a payment plan. Payment plans give your patrons a budget-friendly option to buy memberships that may have otherwise been too expensive to pay for all at once. Spreading out the cost of a higher value purchase means that patrons don't have to worry about the full upfront cost. This often allows visitors who might have opted for a regular daily admission to become members instead, encouraging them to return to your institution and to even bring friends and family as well. Our payment plan module is incredibly flexible, which means you can customize your payment plans for your unique institution and your members. You can select the day of every month payments should be processed, use a cutoff day to skip the first payment for late month purchases, and even set email options to send notifications when guest payments are approved or declined. Auto renewals are also a terrific option with payment plans since auto renewals simplify the process of renewing a membership. This means you save time on renewal drives and your membership renews hassle-free. Let's learn a little bit more about payment plan advantages. Payment plans benefit both you as well as your institution in many ways, and especially your members. First, higher value purchases mean more revenue overall to support your institution. Second, when members are visiting more often, they feel an increased sense of loyalty, which can drive further engagement. Since patrons have the option to return to your venue, they're able to relax, explore, and learn more about your mission. Payment plans result in decreased cart abandonment online. More patrons complete a purchase because you are offering them a budget-friendly option that does not require a large upfront payment. Payment plans also benefit your operations. They're simple to implement and they include automatic notifications. It can also be helpful to have a reliable, long-term revenue stream of recurring payments from these patrons to support your institution's long-term initiatives. And the integrated auto renew feature is also an operational benefit. It saves your staff time while keeping your patrons enrolled and also engaged. A recent study shows guests are budgeting on a monthly basis, and many of the purchases that were need-to-haves turn to nice-to-haves when the budgets tighten. In a recent article about guest membership purchases, Suzanne Carowin, the CMO of High Road Solution, a strategic marketing company, said, "New payment terms allow a membership that might have seemed daunting to now be palatable and perceived as a need instead of a luxury good." Our payment plan module follows the simple payment terms trend and allows the purchaser to budget accordingly, helping them to retain the need to have pass or membership that they really wanted. Now, I'd like to share a couple insights we've learned from the Alliance of American Museums. One of the biggest challenges we hear from cultural institutions is that of retaining members. In fact, the American Alliance of Museums finds that overall museums have a renewal rate of less than 60%. Do you know where your organizations sit on the renewal spectrum? Let me ask a couple more questions. Do you make it hard for your members to continue their memberships with you? Does a renewal require a phone call to the member services office or possibly an actual trip into the museum and a wait in line? How much time and work goes into your renewal and your retention efforts? Well, auto renewals featured in accesso Seriousware's membership platform automates and simplifies the process of renewing memberships. Here's how it works. A credit card number is retained in a secure and PCI compliant manner on an initial membership purchase or really at any point thereafter. As the renewal date approaches, your member is reminded of his or her upcoming charge and an additional communication is sent on the charge date. If a card fails to charge, you are made aware for follow-up, and the membership can continue or it can suspend based on your terms and your business practice. This results in less time spent on renewals and membership recovery and more time for bigger fundraising initiatives. And a big reason we lose our memberships is simple. We don't ask. In fact, Rick Whalen of Marketing General was quoted as saying, "One of the main reasons people don't renew is they don't remember being asked." Auto renewals put this important ask at the beginning of the relationship rather than as an afterthought. Now, we've talked so far about the possibilities related to member benefits and payment plans and renewal options. And I'd like to move to our final item and then on to a short product demonstration. Let's talk about the Passport e-commerce solution that is built for innovative membership sales, renewals, and member benefits. Our award-winning accesso Passport solution offers a beautiful and secure e-commerce experience for your patrons, and it's backed by Accesso's relentless commitment to service. Serving top attractions across the globe and delivering over 25 million printed home tickets per year, our e-commerce solution is a proven success, and it provides your institution with all of the tools you need to keep ahead of the curve. Let me share a couple facts about your patrons. The way we buy and sell today is light years away from how things were done even just 10 years ago. With smartphones today offering more computing power than the computers used to accomplish the Apollo 11 moon landing, it's easy to see why smartphones have become the first screen viewed whenever consumers are really looking to make a purchase. Average smartphone users spend nearly 5 hours a day on their phones and unlock their devices 110 times each day. So since 9 out of 10 consumers in the US keep their phones within reach 24/7, it comes as no surprise that 30% of US e-commerce traffic is already happening on mobile. What's the important takeaway for your institution? Your patrons expect a lot from your online store. 64% of smartphone users expect a page to load within 4 seconds, and 40% have turned to a competitor's website simply to find a better mobile experience. And if that weren't intimidating enough, 1 in 4 shoppers will actually abandon their carts if a site's navigation is too complex. As consumers have moved to mobile, Accesso has invested heavily in developing an e-commerce storefront to support the intuitive, quick, and attractive shopping experience that patrons have come to expect. In fact, we've helped our clients' mobile ticket sales grow from just 3% of their overall ticket sales in 2012 to over 46% in 2016. This incredible movement to mobile has allowed us to learn some best practices for optimizing online stores and to apply those to our award-winning accesso Passport solution. Most patrons today will have already visited your institution's website before they even arrive. In fact, you can expect that about half of your patrons will be browsing your website from their smartphone, looking to learn more about your exhibitions, your tours, and your ticket offerings. You really want to be prepared to make a great first impression. and providing patrons with an online experience that makes them excited to come visit you is absolutely critical. Accomplishing this becomes easy with our award-winning Accesso Passport eCommerce, which offers a fully responsive shopping experience so your patrons enjoy the same great experience on desktop, tablet, and mobile devices. And it's all supported by our fully hosted model and the highest level of PCI security compliance. One of the biggest benefits of our fully hosted model is that we really do all the heavy lifting for you when it comes to technical setup and maintenance. If you have a small technical team, you know how challenging it can be to manage the items in their queue. Our accesso Passport solution helps to reduce the burden on your technicians by providing our fully hosted solution with regular updates backed by a team of talented developers, diligent quality assurance specialists, and expert IT support staff. With our team doing the heavy lifting to support your ticketing operations, your technical team is free to dedicate their time to those important projects at your institution. But let's talk about the overall service aspect. None of the look or the functionality of our products would be nearly as appealing if you had to get it all set up by yourself. Luckily, our accesso Passport client support team is there to help you every step of the way with 24/7 monitoring and support for you and your patrons. Whether you need some help getting your ticket packages set up for a special guest exhibit or adding a bunch of new users to the system, our team is here for you like really an extension of your own team. Let's talk about where Passport can directly benefit your members. One of our best new innovations within our accesso Passport e-commerce store is the addition of membership benefits functionality. This feature allows your members to have a login on your e-commerce store to shop through the benefits and entitlements provided to them through their memberships. This is a helpful and convenient feature for your patrons because now they can redeem those benefits on the go without worrying about keeping track of a coupon booklet or a voucher. The memberships benefit feature is also great for your staff as it keeps track of member entitlements in real time, and it saves you the hassle and expense of printed coupons and postage. Here we're looking at an example of what a member might see within their account. They can see how many entitlements are remaining, add those to their cart just like a regular ticket, and securely check out in just a few easy steps. Finally, let's touch on reporting and insights. Now, it's easy to collect data throughout your venue, but it's much more difficult to create helpful connections with that data and to transform those connections into actionable insights. First, our platform does a tremendous job of capturing patron and especially membership purchases, entitlements, and use. And with our integrations with the most popular CRMs provided by our accesso solutions, tying all that data to a patron or a membership becomes simple. This means you can really get some incredible insight to your patrons and their journey with you in 360 degrees, from the 180-degree view of the campaign marketing they've seen in their giving history, all the way to the other 180-degree view of their actual on-site experience with you, where they shopped, when they visited, what they saw. You finally get the entire picture. So now I want to pause for just a moment while I open a demonstration for you. On my screen, what you're looking at is an accesso Seriousware point of sale site. So within your institution, you have the ability to build out sales points that allow you to ring through tickets, memberships, retail items, food and beverage. You can cross-train your staffs to move from venue to venue and to engage on any sales point within the institution with products that only need to be focused on in that particular area. In this case, what I've got is a box office ticket solution built out. You can see the orientation of the items that I can choose right here on my left. You can see the actions I can take against my cart right down here in the bottom. And you can see the functions that I can take against the cart right here at the top. Once you understand the orientation of the sales point for one location, you can actually move to any location within the entire venue and transact just the same as any other. In this particular scenario, what I want to show off is some of our memberships functionality that I've mentioned at the beginning of the call. The first thing I want to show you is the auto renewal feature. So I've got a membership that I'm going to set up right now, and I'm going to do it just for an individual. Then I'm going to select whether this is a new member or whether it's a gift recipient. In this case, we're going to set up our good friend Doug Smith with a membership. All of the information that you're seeing on this screen can be tailored to connect to your CRM of choice and can share data across both. In this case, what we're going to capture is the first name and the last name, the famous Anywhere Street, and we're going to place that in a zip code I know very well, Orlando, Florida. We're going to retain a phone number for Mr. Doug Smith. And then finally, the all-important email address. Once I've got all this data right here, and you can really specify what's necessary data and what has to be collected, just like you see up here in the screen. I've filled out the only necessary information on this particular tab. You can also gather other significant details about that guest. Perhaps what type of films they enjoy, what type of art exhibitions they like to see, what their style is, whether it's cubism or whether it's pop art. Go ahead and save this information, and we're prompted for an auto renewal. Yes, we would like this to auto renew. And in this case, I'll cash out the cost of the first year membership. And then at this point, it would ask me to place a credit card on file. And a copy of our receipt. Now at this point, their ID card could print out of a separate card printer, and you could provide them with any necessary information that you'd like to fulfill for a new member. So Doug Smith is on his way in to enjoy the exhibitions and see the different parts of the museum that he feels are relevant to him. What I want to show you right down here in this corner is my guest lookup feature. Within one quick snapshot, your managers on duty can recall a pass, look at start and end dates, or they can actually drill down and see every specific benefit that is set up for this particular guest or member. Right here, we can see aspects like their number, any points that they have assigned, any money that's been attached to their membership. Scrolling down, we're able to have a look at their benefits redemption, what they're getting per day, what they're entitled to, and what they've taken advantage of. In this case, this individual has access to a free IMAX and exhibit one time per day, refreshes every day, and has not been used yet for the current day. A really cool thing to benefits, we can store historical benefits and we can report on historical benefits, but that's not always current. That's not always the existing exhibition you want to give access to. So while we'll store that data, you can also add benefits on the fly. So today it might be free IMAX and exhibits. Tomorrow you may include a free water bottle and make that a part of a marketing campaign to drive more weekend business. So we can see all of that information in there now. What we're going to do, we're going to have Doug show up to take in a movie. We'll say Roving Mars. I'm going to do a member free entrance. And at this point, we're going to set him up right here. Members never remember their cards. If he had a card, we could scan it. You can see we've just gone from red to blue, signifying that we've recorded the member, that the member benefit was active and that they're able to take advantage of this. Now, if I pull that same guest record, we can scroll down and see where this individual has taken advantage of that benefit for the day. and has gone in to check out their IMAX exhibit right here. So to recap on what I've just shown you both the auto renewal functionality as well as the extension of membership benefits, and then the redemption of those benefits, and finally the reporting of those benefits that have been taken advantage of. What I want to show you right now is the payment plan functionality. One really cool feature to our system is it will allow multiple memberships in multiple levels. So perhaps you identify as an individual member, perhaps you want that member to become a family membership. We could convert it to that, or they could have a separate simultaneous membership if they choose. And this could be separate from a donor membership. So they can have multiple levels, and that is a question that I get asked pretty often. So in this case, I'm going to sell a new family membership, and we'll set up Mr. Doug Smith again. And we've added a family member. The second guest is Susie Smith, Doug's wife. Now, what we've got here is a modifier. It's asking me to define what that membership is. We know what a family membership entitles guests to. Maybe the guest doesn't, maybe the operator who's ringing the transaction doesn't. So we can put policies in place and put standards in place that allow us to select and define what makes up that membership. So in this case, there's going to be 2 adults that are a part of this. They have 1 child, and they like to bring grandma along every Sunday too. I'll bypass the auto renewal in this particular case so that I can show you these payment plans. This is our payment plan screen right here. You can define the number of payments that you want per term. So in this case, I've built this out as 12 payments. So every single month, we're billing to a given credit card an equal amount. And in this case, Mr. Smith doesn't like to have a $9 payment every month. Instead, he wants a $50 payment up front, and then he wants the ability to reduce the other payments. So we just went from $917 to $546, just with that one adjustment right there. Now let's put a credit card on file. Okay, and he's paying cash today and wants all the rest to go on the card. He's done. We've now created a membership for Doug, and this is just simply a copy of what we would see from our Epson style receipt printer. You can see that we've taken a $50 cash payment on it, and the rest finances to a payment plan. So finally, what I'm going to do is show off a little bit more with our Passport site. Again, this is a sales point. This is our Passport e-commerce ticketing product. So what I'll show you is the Pacific Science Center. This is one of our museums that we love working with, and they were one of our earlier adopters of our Passport e-commerce site. And they were really, really helpful for us in helping to create a dialogue that allowed us to custom tailor and custom fit our e-commerce product to match what needs to be seen in an institution like a science center, like a museum. In the past, we've built our Passport e-commerce system to serve high volume ticketing attractions. And this gave us the opportunity to really fine tune it and build it so that it was optimized for a nonprofit institution. Now, what I'd like to show you is their store. You'll notice on their website, they've designed their website. There were no fundamental changes that needed to happen on the Pacific Science Center website in order to build on our ticket store. There's a call to action right up here in the corner though that says buy tickets. When I click buy tickets, it'll actually kick off the Passport e-commerce store that will allow us to go in and make our purchases. Now within the site that you see here, I can simply log in and purchase an exhibit if I wish. I can also take a look at members tickets. In this case, I'm logged in as an actual member. And I can see the benefits that I have available. So as a member, I can purchase tickets at a discounted rate for my friends, and I can also take advantage of my member benefits and draw the 15 available redemptions down by adding items to my cart and then moving forward with a purchase. It's pulling all of our events dates, all of our show times, and again, this is synchronized with our sales point that we have on site. So the inventory is being shared between two different sales points, or really up to hundreds if you wish. Now, in this case, what I'm going to do is close out the Passport e-commerce store. Show you a couple unique features. Within the Passport e-commerce store, our technical support that you'll notice on our site actually goes to us. So you're not taking purchasing questions anymore. Those, my ticket doesn't print for some reason. It doesn't look like there's inventory available for some reason. This number right here actually goes directly to the accesso team so that we can interact with those guests on your behalf. We're always happy to escalate challenges to the appropriate personnel within the institution, should that come up. But I think that's a key thing that we need to always call out with our Passport solution, is that it is ticketing and memberships as a service, and you do have entitlement to the technical support, not only for your organization, but also for all of those folks that really wish to take advantage of your ticketing and your purchasing store. So having shown these different features, I'd like to go ahead and move to opening up the floor to some questions.
Thanks, Ryan. So our first question today is, can I replace my Razor's Edge with your solutions?
That's a really great question. Thank you, Val. I'm glad that you shared that question. It is possible to connect the Razor's Edge product to the accesso Passport and Seriousware solutions. And while we want to support this and build out an integration that makes sense and makes operations really, really easy, at the same time, we have created the ability to connect to best-in-class CRM solutions. We do not ourselves build the CRM, but we do focus on really building a really great connection between those products. So you could retain your Razor's Edge solution, and leveraging our Seriousware Sync product actually connect the ticketing system directly to that system.
Great, thank you, Ryan. So our next question has to do with payment plans. We are asking if payment plans would go on a single account or if there would be an account per each individual when you set up a payment plan.
It really depends on the product purchased. So we could certainly purchase multiple memberships with multiple payment plans. In the case of, say, a family plan, we would set up a family membership and put that on its own single payment plan. So it really depends on how you would like to configure and build that product out. But it is highly customizable, and it is possible to build out a solution that bills in several different ways.
Great, thank you. And our next question is, can the Passport e-commerce site open in a full browser tab instead of a pop-up overlay?
So it would always open in a pop-up overlay like you see within that store.
Great, thank you, Ryan. And so our last question today is, do I have to launch a new website to use the Passport solution?
Absolutely not. That's one of the benefits to the Passport solution. You put a reference line in the header for the web page, and then you'll place calls to action throughout the website, maybe a buy tickets here block or a purchase membership here block. And then as you're doing that, it's actually launching to the specific tab in the web store where that information is relevant. So if you purchase movie tickets, it'll actually load your IMAX theater store portion of your e-commerce product.
Thanks, Ryan. We actually have another question on that exact same line. Can we link specific places in Passport from our flagship site? So I think you just sort of answered that a little bit. Can you
Yes,
reiterate?
you certainly could. So you could create links across your entire site. In fact, many organizations, I would encourage you to explore the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation in Dearborn, Michigan, as well as the Pacific Science Center, even Columbus Zoo. These folks place links or place really the information, the reference tab, throughout their website at various locations to launch the store.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering those questions, Ryan. That was our last question for today.
Awesome. Thanks, Val. So as you can see, innovation is at the heart of the entire accesso product line. Our aggressive development cycle allows us to deploy regular updates and enhancements to our system. We highlighted today some of our features specifically designed for museums and cultural institutions, and there are always great new features in the pipeline with our team. So this time I'd like to thank all of you for joining and encouraging, asking some great questions. And I would like to invite you to explore more with accesso. You'll receive an email tomorrow with a link to access today's webinar recording. And I want to thank all of you and encourage all of you to have a terrific day.